Hello everybody, we're here today for a webinar on integrated 3D structures, where we're going to talk about the integration between concrete structures and steel structures with our engineer, Diego Cuellar. He's engineer of CYPE from our technical department, and I'm Douglas from the international sales department from CYPE Software. Diego, very pleased to have you here.
Thank you, Douglas.
Good to have you here. So today we're going to talk about integrated structures, right? This is a very interesting feature of CYPE software. I've had great response from international markets that many engineers, are very interested in the fact that, okay, you can generate a concrete structure and connect it to a steel structure and analyze the whole thing.
Yeah, you're right. That's why we are going to talk about it.
Okay. So, could you tell us a little bit what we are going to talk about today, or the spectrum of what you intend to present to us?
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Diego Cuellar. I'm a civil engineer and I work for Technical Support Department. Today, as you know, Douglas mentioned, we're going to cover the integrated 3D structure by CYPE. We are going to use just 3 software or 3 applications. In the BIMserver.center, you can have it. It's just a matter of going into this website. The first one, we are going to use a particle frame, and with particle frame, we move on to Site 3D, and then we're going to finish in CYPECAD. That's the normal way to work.
That's a whole workflow, right? Because in CYPE software, we have so many modules that we can connect together. In this case, as if I understand correctly, you're going to create a portal frame, right? And then analyze it in CYPE 3D, and finally connect it to a concrete structure, which is portal frame generators. For all of you guys, is a software that we have especially to create portal frames, which is a job that takes a long time and it's very easy to do. And it seamlessly connect with CYPE 2D, which is our software for steel structures. And as Diego mentioned, they all connect through our common data environment platform called BIMserver.center. If you don't know it yet, just go to BIMserver.center and you can download and test all these softwares that I'm mentioning.
You finish? Okay. Well, we have if you have the software, the main window is going to be like this one. Clicking in the structure part, the red color, you will display the 3 software that we're going to use. And the workflow is like this. First of all, we are going to introduce one particle. In that particle, we will have the opportunity to find the wind solutions, and then from the wind solutions we can find the purlins, the perfect purlin located on the roof, and also we can have the maximums, the right locations or spacing between the purlins. That's another picture that we can have in particle frame. Then when we finish with that part, we are moving into Site 3D. That's what we call interoperativity between applications to develop them in tandem, and the software do it automatically. They open Site 3D automatically. In Site 3D, what we do is to select the profiles, and then we can use some different commands and functions like group, and also if you want to make your life more easier, you can start using Windows. And in Windows, maybe the last solution is to get the joint solutions, and also the software provides you documentation and also drawings or layout plans. And then we can use another software called CYPECAD. It's for concrete. In concrete, this is a basement, by the way. And in the basement, we can introduce the walls around, and then we can introduce the columns. We can select the kind of slabs, kind of foundation solutions, and then also another command or application called stairs. And something important to mention that talking about the office, one of the colleagues can work in CYPECAD, just the foundation models, and then another guy can work in the steel solutions. And then they can join, these both solutions in just one project. We call it overlapping structure, which is the last step, which is here the model number 4.
That sounds great. And just to clarify something that I think might be useful for people, you were showing the site menu, right? That they can download from CYPE.com, or they can also go to BIMserver.center, download each software separately and try it for themselves. Or softwares, you can test it for 10 non-consecutive days, 10 working days, and that would be useful for anybody watching this webinar right now, right?
Yeah, right. So we continue with the particle frame. All these measures, we can take it from the drawings that we are getting from the architect or the engineers. And then we can define the roof type, could be rigid frame, truss, whatever. And also we can introduce the panel weight and wind loads and snow loads. And also dimensions, optimize the roof and lateral purlins. And also we can export the geometry and loads to the program site 3D. Normal way is like that. We can select the frame. On the right side, you have different options about the whole truss, the Pratt truss, the worm truss, and so on and so on. And then we can generate also the number of spans, the distance between them, also the weight of the external panels, the light loads, and also we can introduce the wind load according to your need. If you are working in Euro, whatever, you can select all kind of codes. And finally, when we finish with this, we can go on into the exportation to Site 3D. But before that, we can select the purlin roof, the perfect match, and over here, selecting the type of profiles. You can select the first one just by testing the software, and then with the right button over here, um, the software can do the analysis and select the best option, the best option that you have according to the library that you are choosing. And then we go for the separation. The separation, you can right here, you can test any information, could be 0.5 meters, and then clicking in design buttons, and the software are going to check or to look for the best options between the purlins. This is the good solution also. And finally, the steel type could be, you have a bunch of solutions that we can select. Could be A36, or you can display and see what is the most important one. And then when we deal with this, we finish, we can start open, the particle Site 3D. Okay, talking about CyPECAD, I'm going to show you just right here the program. This is the way to work. In general data, we go for the selection of the spans, the frames, and so on, and even the code. And talking about the the snow load here, if you don't have it, you can create something similar. Could be ashes where you are surrounded with volcanoes or any activity like that. You can introduce that part. And in general data also, we can generate the purlins here on top or even in the lateral weight. Could be the purlins on the side. And clicking here, you must check, the selection limits. It goes around 250 or 300. We can select 2 or 3 spans, and the attachment could be rigid ones. And then, what I explained before about the type, clicking in the design point, it gives you the best options, and then the separations, the maximum separation between them, and so on. That's the way. And if you go, for example, about the code, when you finish with the library, when the selection win code, I'm going to show you just what you can look into the view load cases, which, this is what you are doing automatically. The software is doing this automatically. So I'm going to show you the entire solution. Imagine that you are doing these things one by one. It's a lot of work. With this software, it helps you, introducing this. Once you move into the software Try 3D, you will see this automatically in panels, and also you can check it one by one. If you are going to add, for example, CYPE solutions, it's possible also to do both. Okay, and then during the last step is to export to Site 3D. I'm not going to do it, but during the process, you have the opportunity to see this document, which is regarding to the per list that we are choosing. And also you must have the opportunity also to save it as a PDF format or text format, because this is the proof that the prelist that you are going to select right now is important to show that that's the best option. And also, when you finish the exportation, you don't need to introduce it in the warehouse, because you're already done. You don't need it. But inside 3D, it's possible to introducing the purlins exactly the way this program are telling you to do it. And the last option is to select the configurations, support, and also the backlink options, and the type of generations could be in 3D frame generations, and finally, not to group it. My advice is not to group it, because sometimes, the project by itself are going to change a little bit. So these options can, for example, this particle, maybe the last one, perhaps they're going to move a little bit inside, or maybe something in the center they're going to move. If you go for group, central, and ends, maybe these options are going to move also the panels and all the surface loads that you are adding right now. So that's why my advice is to go for the node group selection. And then when we add it here, we accept this, we move on into Site 3D, which I'm not going to
So
go to that far.
just to summarize, Diego, so
Yep.
we've seen the first software of the three, right? This is portal frame generators. Once you
Yeah.
finish generating the portal, now we're going to export it to CYPE 3D, right?
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
way. Yeah. Okay, so this is it's a summary about the way that we are proceeding. And then we are now in this step number 2, inside 3D. Inside 3D, the analysis to carry out are 7 points, very important points. First of all, we have to load that are imported from particle frame generator are automatically. We must introduce the panels. The panels has been created automatically also. You must select the profiles. We can use the tools such as group, windows, layer, etc. You can also design and analyze the structure. And we can generate the solution of joints. And also we can do the foundation solution, but it's optional. Why is optional? Because remember that these steel solutions are going to be on top of the columns, and also on top of the walls, the perimeter walls that we have inside CAD. So that's why if the project finish here, you can go for full foundation solution, no problem. We have that option also. About the purlins, I would like to mention that we are not exported because they have already been designed in and checked in particle frame. But if you want to introduce it inside 3D, it's okay. We can do that, because perhaps you are going to show the customers the way they are going to be, and also the guys who are going to put it in the site on the site is a good solution to visualize. Also, the joints could be welded, bolted, or both. Nevertheless, if any connection is missing, we can finish using the program Streaming Steel or Site Connect, which are in bin environment. But the foundation could be pad footing, pipe cap, and tie beams or strap beams. Okay, so I'm going to open the software, 3D software, which is this one. Suppose the structure is here. Of course, I'm saving, time because this is not. If you want to see more about this software, the Site 3D, we have another webinars who explain very well about everything step by step. But this is not the case. I'm going to just explain the most
Yeah,
important
we actually
features.
have many webinars, right, about each one of these tools, and anyone who wants to can dive in more depth in any of these topics.
Yeah, once we're here, the things we're doing automatically is like this, the panels. Look, these are the panels, and if you click on the top, the right click, you see this information is automatically. And also, if you want to generate when you are doing the exportation, the first window that you are going to open is this one. Don't do anything here, just finish the exportation, and once it's done, the exportation is done, you can come back here and modify the code or whatever you are interested to, or depending on the country that you are located, and you can do that. An important feature here to show is the additional load cases. Right now we have 6 conditions for wind and 3 for snow. And also if you want to add something according to the temperature, for example, you can click here, try to add some of those conditions. I'm telling you that because at the end of the presentation, I have something very important to show you. So I remind you that this is the way to do it. And once you are creating those loads conditions, you can come back here in loads, visible loads, and you start, watching what is going on. You can do this. You can start, for example, for example, other kind of loads. Could be snow loads and so on. That thing is automatically. And if you want to do it all, just like that. You see, and you have. By the way, now we are using particle frame, and this job is already done. But if you don't want to do that, eh, you can do it by your own. You can start using the same features, introducing load one by one, and then you can create your panels. And those panels, if you introduce the load in those panels, the software asks you in which direction you are going to move those kind of loads. So this is the way to do it manually.
It is
So
possible to
finally,
create the same structure in CYPE 3D. It's just that it would be more have a little less work if you start in photo frame generator. It's less stressful for the engineer.
yeah. Well, I'm going to do the analysis. This is something new also, the new linear combinations. I'm going to do, for example, just to see the time of doing this, I'm going to select the bolt connections. Doesn't take too much, yeah.
So
Go
here
ahead.
we are now analyzing already the structure. So that takes a few moments from the computer to analyze, but that's a
Mhm.
necessary process of what we have to do today. So Diego, we've seen the connection between Cype 3D and also photo frame generator. Maybe at some point we can show a little bit of the BIMserver.center if we have time for them to see where they can find these softwares and download. Maybe at the end.
Yeah. So, okay, so finally, do you have the result right now? We're going to see the check, for example, about the purlins. Well, something that I forgot to mention is in bars, we have the grouping. You must, you must know a little bit about how to group the elements. Grouping is so important because once you are finishing with the design analysis, the software give you the solution by the groups, so you don't have several profiles in the same structure. It's not worth it. So that's one thing. And also, doing the analysis, you check for the perlinks. Click here. You will display the entire information. This is not a black box. You can have a full document here as well. And then if you want to go, for example, to check the elements, anytime that you start working, you must go for this selection, the check code. And this give you an options. Perhaps you want to save money, you can go for a better option. Could be the HB 180. Until you finish. It's a long process when you change something until you get the entire green color. When it's green, it's already done. The instruction is done. Then the last step is just to look for the joins, and the software finds this kind of joins. And then in the analysis, you can go back here and select the designs. Same thing, same solutions. We have some library here, by the way, but the library, they have some solutions. You can search in that library. Is something match with the joints that you are working? You make sure that the solution are going to be done. But in just in a case that one of the solution is not well done here, or you are not satisfied with the solutions, you can use in our BIMserver.center the CyPECAD or even Stubin Steel. Okay, so
Yeah, that was something that I tried to comment here. I turn off my microphone, but yeah, there's also the option of using CyPECAD for all this, right?
yep. Then we can go for example, for the deformation shape. I'm just selecting just the simple look case and set weight. But clicking here, you will see how the structure moving. This option is okay when perhaps one of these profiles are not well connected. You will see it right away. And also, and then we go back, and the final analysis, we can see the forces. Here in the forces, you can go for the moments. For example, you have it automatically here on top. And also, I would like to show you all the hypotheses that we're doing with this kind of code, even the selection, the wind selection that we are carrying on from particle frame, and also the extra load that we are applying here. So suppose everything is finished. Here, you are not going to export to CyPECAD, so you can go for the foundation. Foundation here, we have a different analysis, different options here, and you can do, for example, if the analysis like this one, you can generate this one automatically, or you can do it one by one. You can do let me finish here because I already done it. Perhaps the analysis I'm going to design what I have right now. You can do the quick and complete design or a relative design, interactive design. The interactive ones, you check the geometry and then the effort, tensions, and then go back to the reinforcement. And now about this, I want to show you the 3D solution, which is like this. Okay, so give you details about the reinforcement, about the joints, solutions, even the this kind of we call it San Andreas options. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. And then once it's done,
The
we go
San Andrew Cross, right? You mean the
the
San Andrews
San
Cross?
Andreas Cross. Yeah, but they have a different name. Anyhow, we go back to the structure, and now we can complete the solution like this one. Now we are ready to export that to the program CyPECAD. So we can come back, to our PowerPoint presentation. So we are here. So this kind of code are implemented the same way like in Site3D and CyPECAD. We must deal for the description of data profiles. We must work always with generic ones. Sometimes, people get confused when we have this option, colors and beams. Colors and beams is because before adding these options, we have this one, which is concrete, but this option doesn't give you the reinforcements. But now with this solution, column and beam solutions, you will have that reinforcements on it. And okay, you have a bunch of in this structure, you have a different profile solution here. And the way to do it is just selecting one of those families. Once you select it with the profile, you have some extra families around here. And in this grid, you will be able to see our a bunch of factories who are providing you different profiles. Okay, so then, in 3D, I would like to mention something very important, which is the latest release. We are doing with nonlinear analysis, and preferably we have 4 models. The new models are the bars only intentions, because that bar, that as you mentioned, and about the San Andreas cross, that San Andreas cross, the most work intention, when you are doing intention. So that kind of bars, now we can do that nonlinear analysis perfectly well. Then we can work with the uplist as support, the new model, and then the backlink analysis for global stability, and also the backlink analysis for local stability. That goes for structural steel and SciConnect models.
It's great that you mentioned that. It's great to have in CYPE nonlinear analysis, and that's a great feature for us to have at the software in this software.
Yeah, about this, we already explained this. I'm just skipping the part, and then the joint solutions. Just to show you how easy it is to work with us with this software, I'm going to.
I think that's a common theme, right? Generating the frame with the portal frame generator was quite easy. It's a simple process, and we can see here that analyzing the structure on Cype2D is also quite simple.
Yeah, it's called bracing.
Generating the connections and etc.
It's called bracing. So let me show you. I'm going to do just very easy job here in this one. Look, this is a welding solution here, but now I can provide you. Look, before that, I'm going to show you the drawings, that kind of drawing. You can export that to any CAD software.
Very complete drawing.
Yeah, pretty neat, pretty straightforward. And if you need extra information in that drawing, you can export it into any CAD solution. But look, I'm going to change just a little bit, the bolt plate for the simple washer and nut. Look, this like that. And then we go back to this joints drawings. Look, it's already done. Just in one click. How easy it is. Look, so simple.
It was seamlessly. Yeah, you transition from welds to bolts very easily.
Very easy. So now, going back, to our presentation. This is something like that. And now, these the outcomes. About the outcomes, we have two ways to do the support and the report. Sorry, and the first way is just going in tool solution to commands. Select the report and selection elements. Select just one bar or two bars or a bunch of them, and then you display it like this. What I'm resulting here in red color is because the load case and combination take a little more time, to develop that solution. And the second option, the second way, is clicking one of these icons, and they will have the entire display of reports. But the way to do it is unselect everything, because it's a lot of information. It's better to unselect everything and then goes and select only the things that you are really interested to see. So in this case, in this particular case, I'm selecting just the summarized solution for the ultimate so ultimate limit solution. So about the outcome also, about the drawings, that's the way to do it. Naya over here, Naya, we call it Naya, this area over here where they are going to have the office, or maybe they are going to store one of the elements here in the factory. And then the real solution, which is the real view here, is something like that. Okay, so now we are in this step. So maybe I'm going to explain a little bit.
So now we get to the topic of the webinar that we have today, right? We've done a steel structure, and now we have to actually connect it to the concrete structure, which is the topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, going back, to the report and selection elements. Suppose you want to see this one. So you see, you're unselected. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Unselect, and you can go, for example, for the result, for example, and then perhaps you want to see the parts. You don't need this. 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 Maybe you need this. Just this one, right? And then you can ask for this kind of documentation. But the other solution is clicking here. And then you have for the entire structure, you see?
So these are practical suggestions that you learn with experience, like Diego, who has a lot of experience with the software. So that might be useful for anybody trying to create their first structure with the connected structure, right?
Yeah, perfect. Well, so okay, going back. So we are here right now. So now we're going to do the overlapping, about the overlapping, which is the most important part. So talking about CYPECAD, we're going now to use the program CYPECAD. So CYPECAD, no, not this one, sorry. I think it's this one. This is the CYPECAD. So let me see. This is the solution, both solution, but the one I prepare for you is this one, which is only just the concrete ones. So in the concrete ones, this is a basement. That's why it's like this. It's the basement. So in the basement, we can introduce the lateral walls around. Now also you can introduce the columns. In CYPECAD, it's very straightforward. Then you can introduce different models like stairs. And also inside the structure, we can travel. We can travel over here and look for these kind of foundation solutions. And so we can introduce kind of slabs, slabs. Going back, to the way to introduce it in here in column definition, we can enter the floors group. The floors group here, this is on the ground. Something to mention, very important, is that the foundations is here, but remember, we are going to put the metallic structure on top here. So we must when we are ready to put the steel structure on top, we must select the plan this level. And about the columns, so just I'm going to show you just one, like this one, and also the software give you the opportunity to select or bring here all the drawings that we are going to use. And also it's pretty nice, that if we are getting that kind of cross here, we can get it straight to the point, and then you can measure the size of the columns and continue with, the entire process automatically. And when this part is done, we can go back to the BIM definitions, and then we can introduce the walls, the lateral walls. Just one. I'm going to show you just one. the lateral goal from the foundation to the up top, which is the we call planta, the top. And this yellow marks over here is the pressure diagram that we are dealing. For example, could be in the left side, the right side. Also, we can introduce the soil pressure here, and decided the leaf elevation of that wall. Now it's 0. It's in the ground. It's in the 0, 0 level. So that's why it's here, 0, 0 level. But it's just the yellow color means that's what that really means. And then we can go for the slabs, the panel slabs. The data of this panel slab is this one. It's called waffle slabs. And also, if you want to see more details about it, you can come back here for the joist slab. We have several options here. For the hollow core slabs, we can display a little information regarding to the kind of slabs, and composite slab, which is called a steel deck as well. You can go for composite slab. You can select different options here. And for waffle slabs, even here, this is a new feature here in the software that you can create this one by default. Flat slabs, which is about most important, maybe in also math foundations. We introduce kind of a soil report and waiting for definition. Something that I never use it, but I don't know, could be something that you can maybe look at it.
But in any way, you have many options.
Yeah, many options. Talking about the stairs over here, this area. I'm going to move here. The stairs over here. I can just check. One is placed. The check is placed. You can go for this kind of reinforcements. You can also export to any CAD software as well. You see, it's very straightforward. And then I think, so I'm telling you about the office. In the office, one guy can take care about the concrete stuff, could be this one. Another guy can take care about the steel, and then they can work together and overlap the structure. Now we are ready, to start doing that process,
Right?
which is like this one. Yeah. You want to mention something, Douglas?
No. Just we're going to start doing the coupling. Like now we're going to connect what we did in CYPE 3D with what we have in CYPECAD.
Yeah, this is the process. I covered overlapping. So you're already now inside 3D. Okay. So first thing, you have to close Site 3D. That's the first step. Then open CyPECAD, finish what you have, and then make sure that both codes in both software match. In CyPECAD, you must select the same code. In Site 3D, the same code. That's the second step. If you don't have these options, the software are going to send you a warning message and saying that doesn't match. So just as a remind you, that software remind you that something is wrong. Then make sure that be in the right group. Means that inside CAD, I show you before that you must be on the right place. We are going, suppose it's the top of the columns, we are going to set up, to put the metallic structure on top. Then we can move into the integrated tree structure. Is a button that I'll show you later. And everything green means that nothing is there. And then you go for this feature of this function called exporting job from CYPE 3D. And then the software automatically show you the last work that you have done it inside 3D. Select that, and then you start dragging and dropping the steel structure in the right place. You just move it into the right place. Once the software, give you, you can visualize exactly where is the right place. In that, you have to do it slowly but truly. Okay, and okay, so there is something that sometimes we forgot to mention. The weighing conditions in both software are different. In CyPECAD, in CyPECAD, in the X directions, they have the X solution like this one. We divide this load in two, in positive and negative with an eccentricity of 5%. Same thing for the Y direction. This is positive and this is positive in X and Y. Inside 3D is different because we go clockwise, 0 degree, 90 degree, 180, and 217. But so what happens when you are doing here, when you are moving or dropping and dragging the structure in the right place? Once you finish with that, the software detects that we have a different combinations, but that combinations, this is the last step that the software do it automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Just I want to mention that those conditions are different. Okay, so moving on. This is the last solution to be here, which is this one, which is this one. This is this one. So I just finishing the rest of the structure. Remember, the just intersection point was this one over here. You can see right away the joint solutions, everything here. And also there is something that I like to show in my presentations is in this button, the 3D view. Yeah, look, if you go straight, very close, you will see the column reinforcement, the joint solution, part of the joint solutions, the wall reinforcements, the stairs reinforcements, and we go inside, we can see also, I finished these kind of, slabs over here. Also the reinforcements in the tie beams, the straps, you see, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Even the slab solutions. So don't forget that we have that. They give you, if you have any doubts about the reinforcement, you can say to the guy, look, I want to show you how the displacement, how the location of those reinforcements are going to be. Any color are different dimensions. All right, so then, going back to our presentations, we are here. This already covered that, or we talk about this also. This is the foundation solution that I mentioned before. We keep the staircase solutions, and now we have a special case. Remember that I told you that we have when we have the foundation. Look, when we have this, look, we have the connections. All these connections with the foundations are the same level. Everything is really straightforward. This is the first case, but we have a special case, which is this one, when we have a different level. So our first case is this one, the right side, but CAD doesn't allow you to import structures that have external links at different level. So we must decide first the group to change the connection to generic ones. I'm going to tell you later, very soon, what that really means with the generic ones. These connections and this connection, when we are working inside 3D, we call it external fixicity. But when we are going to export inside CAD, we must change one of them. We must choose which one we are going to change it. And in this case, I'm going to change this joint as a generic ones. And then, we can move forward inside CAD. Inside CAD, once are placed in the side CAD, we can change that connection for an external fixicity. That's the way to work. This is the possible scenarios that we have normally. And then, inside 3D, we have to proceed in both sides. You have to proceed as an external fixity. If you don't have that, the software are going to give you a message because it could be a mechanism, which is not the right place. So this is the options to do it first. One, the entire solution are well designed. We can change this joint to this one, which is, you see, it is only a joint, it's a point, and we call it generic ones. So we keep it that way, close Site 3D, and then move on into CyPECAD. In CyPECAD, export this structure and goes like this, because only the inserting point are going to be this one. So then you can recognize the second point as an external fixity, but in a very tricky way. Okay, so it's gonna be like this. So import that from Site 3D. Now we are in CyPECAD, and then the inserting point is this one over here. But then going on top, you must see the new connections. That we have to do a new connections. The new connection means that clicking in the metallic structure with your mouse, and then clicking with the right click, you displace another window. This window, you must change the group, because we are in the bottom right now. When we start doing these things in the insertion points, you are in the foundation. But changing the group, you are moving on top. And moving on top is like this. You are in the ground, moving on top, and moving on top. Now the software gives you this option to select the proper point on top of the column. And then finally, when it's done, you can see a different icon. It means that the selection is done, properly done, and you can continue with another options. Okay, so I have I have the this is the example, and the example I will show you in 3D first. It's like that, you see. So over here in this side, we have the external fixity, but on the left side, we have the generic ones. So the generic one means like this: node, new ones. Select this one. Sorry, node, external fixity. If we call it like this one, is now is you can see it as a free connections or generic one. In the other one, it's just the external fixity, right? Okay, so that's the way to change it. And then you can move on. In CyPECAD, talking about CyPECAD, which is this one, suppose you already export that to CyPECAD. In CyPECAD, this is CyPECAD. In CyPECAD, I introduce only one column, but the insertion point is this one. This part are coming from Site 3D. So now, just to see where we are in the foundation, because that's the place that I'm going to insert the Site 3D structure. Then I can go back here and say the program new connections, click in the structure, right click, change the group, go on top, and on top, look, the software, you get close to the column, the software detect that column, and then you can go straight to the corner, the center, sorry, and then it's done. Now you can start working, doing the analysis or whatever, and you have the perfect solution. Okay, that's the way to do it. That's very simple, but it's a tricky way to do it. And then, going back to the solutions, I remind you that we have a lot of options also, resources like learning resources about Site 3D and CyPECAD. Even we have another seminar and about distributed steel that you can search in our website as well. And I have another, lastly, something that, let me see inside CAD, that remember that I was asking you about how to introduce new additional load cases. But in this example, I introduced a temperature options like this one, T1, T1, and then I had only 2 columns, and I made the steel over here. I overestimate, not overestimate. I create a huge element here, very big site. It is the last profile in the list. About the panels, sorry, the results. Talking about the results, we have this loads. Sorry, let me see, go back here. Suppose we need to do the analysis. That one first. Okay, it's done. Then we can go back here to the structure. We can edit what I did. It's a very simple one. The load case, the visible load case is only the T1. And also I can describe or edit that load. I made it like this one, will be the temperature, increments temperature here. And also I created the value of 500 degrees centigrade degree, and which is a lot, just to see the reaction. So once we go back, to the deformation shape, let me do the analysis. Now we go for deformation shape. It goes, when it change a lot. Doesn't show here, but we come back. We come back to the site 3D, and then for the results, and we can see in the deformation shape in both structures. For example, like this. Look. Maybe 100.
These are all specific as examples of complexities that people might find while connecting both structures. But we can see there are many, many options for engineers to solve any type of projects that they actually have. Right? It's not only the perfect project. If you have something that is unusual, you are able to connect it anyway between CYPE 3D and CYPECAD, and we can clearly see it's a easy and complete solution.
What I'm trying to point out is that, because it's a regular question here. One is you have say, well, if I add something on top of the concrete structure, I might have the solution, the weight solution on the ground, on the foundation. Yes, of course. Inside CAD, we can have, well, we can show you. This is actually later, but in this example, particular example, what I'm trying to tell you is that that structure who are on top of the columns, also, if I do this modification, we are measuring the increment of temperature in the steel, which is are going to expand the columns. You will see it right away, and also you can measure that. You can see here. Look, you can see here over here the maximums and displacement columns. Clicking here is something wrong, but you will see right away the displacements in X and Y direction. About the
Could we maybe wrap up more or less everything that we've shown to our viewers? Maybe so
look
we started out in our portal frame generator. We moved to CYPE 3D. Now we've
look
connected to CYPECAD where we have the concrete structures. We've seen a few options that you show that okay, if you have complications in the connection, you can use different options to connect that are all available to you, and maybe we could make some final remarks, right?
okay, look, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm just proving you that the interaction between the metallic structure on top of the columns are well done, and also any displacements, any any displacements could be could be searched. You can find it. You can see the kind of movement of the structure. You can see how the structure are going to behave. And also another proof that you can see inside CAD in the foundation elements. I'm printing the drawings in the foundations. The load on the foundation elements. You can do both. You can start doing this. You can start getting this information without the structure, the steel structure, and with the structure. So look. So then if you go inside, pick anyone. I'm going to pick anyone. Let me see. I did, yeah. If I pick anyone, look, all the say weight, the dead load, the light loads who are in the foundations, and now the effect of all the winds in every direction as well. So I'm proving you that the solution is well done. Okay, that's all I want. Going back, to this PowerPoint, just this is the way to get more resources when you are going to learn about Site 3D, CAD, even another software. Okay,
It's very
so
good to see, as you showed, that the analysis is very sound and very solid. And I think that's one of the strongest points in CYPE software everywhere that we have to present it, anywhere in the world. And also, as you're showing here, we have some very good videos that people can access on learningsype.com, where they can see there's even step-by-step how to use CYPE 3D and also CYPECAD, and there you can clearly see how to connect both, right, and create a structure and transition seamlessly from one to the other.
Yeah, this is it. So
Okay,
thank you so
perfect.
much.
Thank you, Diego, for all the presentation today. I think that was very helpful to everybody, and I hope people could take a lot of value from this presentation. And I invite everybody to go to BIMserver.center and download all these softwares. You can download Portal Frame Generator, CYPE 3D, and CYPECAD and test it for yourself. You can test it for 10 working days. So if you test it on Monday and you can use it on Tuesday or Wednesday, then you get back to on Thursday, that's only 2 days. And that way you can really test the software and see what you can do with the software. And as Diego said, you can have like two people working at the same time, maybe doing a steel structure and a concrete structure, and then try to connect it. That's a very interesting way to test the software and to see what it's capable of doing. Okay, so
Yeah,
once again, Diego, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you
no problem.
for all your knowledge and experience, and I hope everybody has learned a lot about these solutions today.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.